Good day to everyone. Today we have a sample copy of the Pulsar X2 Medium. So I would like to say thank you to Rotobox, Sir Stephen, and Sir Spencer. So release of this mouse is delayed here in the Philippines but will be available very soon. So I know a lot of my kababayans are waiting for this release. So that's why we're going to have a short review on what to expect. So first up is build quality. So there's no flexing or creaking on the top shell. So there are finger grooves on the main clicks. Great placement and size of the side buttons. Has a LED on this side. Completely solid sides compared to the original X-Lite and the X-Lite V2. There is a small Pulsar logo here. At the bottom, there's a DPI button and the on and off switch. So there's a little bit of creaking if you press hard enough. So keep in mind that this is a sample copy. Next is coating. In my opinion, this feels as though the same coating that they use on the Pulsar X-Lite. On the original X-Lite and the X-Lite V2 Mini, I needed to put some grip tapes on the right side of the X-Lite. But this right here, the X2, for me, grips are not needed. It is grippy enough for me, but the coating is not as premium as the XM1 or the super light coatings. For the white colorways, oils and fingerprints is not a problem and is not visible. On my scale, it weighs 56 grams. Despite moving the battery at the rear, the X2 is a bit front heavy. So mouse feet. There are two big PTFE feet. For me, doesn't need replacement out of the box unless you prefer more controlled or faster skates. So battery life. They have advertised this around 70 hours. When the battery is low, the LED indicator will blink or red. Next is clicks and scroll. X2 is using KLGM 8.0. So has some pre and post travel. In my opinion, they have improved the click implementation from the X-Lite series. So side buttons are a lot better than the X-Lite series. The shape is like a smaller super light side buttons. Great side buttons, minimal pre and post travel. For the scroll, they are using TTC Gold Encoder. It has some tactile bumps but smooth and light. So sound test. Sensor used here is the 3395. In all honesty, I can't really tell the difference between 3395 and 3370. I'm just a casual gamer. Probably esports players or younger players can distinguish their differences. So here's a screenshot of Pulsar's tweet regarding this issue. We will tackle the setting on the software later. But after disabling the motion sync, everything was spot on and perfect. Tracked well on different pads, no spin outs or any sensor related problems. So next is wireless. wireless is 2.4 gigahertz connection. After a week of testing of the X2, there were no problems of disconnection or interference with other wireless devices. As I've mentioned before, there is a problem with motion sync. So this is the Pulsar software. You would be greeted with a select device. Then select X2. This is the first tab, button assignment. You can remap your buttons depending on your preference. And then this one is the motion sync. As of now, I advise and Pulsar advises that if you have problems with your sensor or your tracking is a bit jittery, just turn off this motion sync. Then you can adjust your debounce from 0 to 30 ms. I advise to put this one on 0 ms for best performance. Battery life is here, upper right. Then performance. On this tab, DPI settings. Up to 4 DPI stages. Then there's polling rate. Keep this one at 1000 for best performance. LOD is preference. Then ripple and angle snapping, just keep this one disabled. DPI effect. This one is the color here. So just keep this one off for best battery life. Lets you create a macro for your preference, for your game, or for your use case. So that's it for the Pulsar X2 software. I would like to state first that mouse shape is subjective, so do take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. I'm just sharing my experience and my opinion. My thoughts on the X2 is that it's a bit smaller XM1, but with narrower hump and flat sides. The sides of the X2 reminds me of the Superlight. X2 also has low button height and finger grooves. So aside from the XM1, the closest shape I could think of is the fnatic bolt, just with flat sides. This picture is the X2 and the red one is the XM1. You can see here that the X2 is almost the same shape as the XM1. XM1 is a bit bigger on this side. Scroll wheel is up more on the front. And that's the comparison X2 and the XM1. Next picture here is XM1. You can see here that the XM1 is larger on the sides. Height is almost the same as shown in the previous picture. The color blue is the Viper Mini. You can see here that the hump of the X2 is a bit more pronounced towards the rear compared to the Viper Mini, which is much shorter. You can see here that the X2 is a bit wider compared to the Viper Mini. Next picture, I was a bit surprised with this one. This is the fnatic bolt. You can see that the X2 is a bit identical to the fnatic bolt. It's a bit higher on this side and on the button height, but almost the same. Green one is the fnatic bolt. So X2 and bolt is kind of identical on the back part. First is highest point. It's 37 at the highest point. Grip width 60 mm. Towards the rear, it's 63.2. Front is 61.4. 120 mm. 12.3 button height. So, conclusion, a main worthy mouse for those claw grip users who are looking for that palm support with low button height and flat sides. If you find the XM1 to be a bit wide and you find the sides to be a bit aggressive, then X2 is a great or a good alternative for you. A wider and flatter sides compared to the Fnatic Bolt, but the hump placement and the feel on the palm is almost the same as the X2. Hope they improve the clicks and coatings on the releases and also fix the motion sync problem. But all in all, as a package, this mouse right here could very well be one of the top mouse releases of this year so far. A great option for claw grip users, 3395, Kale GM 8.0, good battery life. In my opinion, it's premium priced at $95 compared to the $80 of the X Lite series. But the X2 has upgraded sensor. Hope they improve the coating because it does not feel a premium compared to the XM1 or the super light coating. Thank you for watching. So that's it for our Pulsar X2 review. I would like to say thank you to Sir Stephen, Sir Spencer, and to Rotobox for the opportunity of letting us review the X2 here on the channel. So shout out to our subscribers and to GME members. Thank you so much for the support. Hope to see you soon on our next videos. If you like our videos, please do subscribe and hit the like button. It helps the channel a lot as we are almost nearing 1,000 subs.